welcome to the Sportsman Show. Yes, we are back and ready, and we are on. I took a little hiatus. I took a little adventure into a newer job opening to me that I worked for Amazon as a driver. You know, I took a chance. It was good money and stuff like that, but not the job for me. They really push you at Amazon and stuff like that. They go all in to you, and no breaks on your routes or anything like that. Nothing like that. You go constantly. You get progress reports, stuff like that. So for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I gave it a try. Not the job for me. I found a nice working at a factory for a cardboard factory. They make cardboard boxes. It's upbeat. It's nice. All the people are nice there and stuff like that. But, it's in one spot. You don't get rained on. You don't get hit by cars almost.
You don't get hit. Look for animals while you drive.
Yeah, out in the pitch boonies, out in Simsbury, you don't look for coyotes, bears, coyotes that sound like they're right next to you when they're trying to deliver to a house, and you're like, oh crap, this isn't for me. But
don't forget, Joe. Don't forget, you also had the people are going to think, oh, you stole their package too.
That too. You took a bad picture, and so I'm grateful for the chance to have for the Amazon job, just not for me. They're probably still looking for people. I mean, they
always do.
They always do. They went through people like water. So
here's my question to you, Joe.
Yeah.
Did they just try to hire people on the spot, or were they actually being interviewed before they got hired?
Some people were just hired right on the spot and stuff. Some people went through the training and quit the next day after the training and stuff.
1 day paycheck and that's it.
Pretty much that's all. And that's pretty much that. But, I'm glad where I am. Found a nice place. And we're back. And a lot's happened. And we're going to kick off with the hockey since the championship has been decided. Here you go, Coachy.
Yep, here we go. Hello, everybody. It's nice to be back. I mean, yeah, that means since he was on hiatus, I was too, but I was just waiting for the word when he was ready to come back. So this was on him. But
it
yes,
was on me.
We have a repeat champion. The Tampa Bay Lightning went all in. I know when we were last on the air, we were talking about where we were in round 3. They played a very physical series against the New York Islanders and went all 7 games, which wasn't surprised, and you knew it was going to be a hard luck game 7, whoever was going to lose. Tampa Bay won that one 1-0. So now, of course, we go into this weird, strange final playing against the Montreal Canadiens, where they had no business being in there after they beat the Las Vegas Golden Knights. I thought Tampa Bay in game 1 looked really good against Montreal. They threw a lot of shots at them and stuff. Tampa Bay took care of the first game very easily, 4-1. Then in game 2, I thought Montreal played a lot better. Carey Price was sensational, but Andrei Vasilevsky played even better. The problem was Tampa Bay looked a little bit more sluggish, and they had to hold on for a 2-1 victory. So then the series went to Montreal. Didn't like a couple of the rules they had out there. They were only allowing 3,500 fans to attend the game while everybody else was outside on the street in Montreal. No masks, no nothing.
Okay.
But that was coming, but that isn't a surprise. In game 3, it was a hard-fought game. That was a high-scoring affair. It actually got within, I think the final was 5-3. 5-3. So then it led to the next game. Now the bad news was the Canadian government said Tampa Bay family was not allowed to go to the game if Tampa Bay had clinched. They were told they had to stay home, which was not right, but it's the Canadian government because they are still, as of for now, they're closed. The border's closed till July 21st. So that hasn't changed. So game 4 comes along. I thought Tampa's first and second line was shut down. Then the third and fourth line picked up the pace in the third period. So they tied the game up. And then Josh Anderson decided, you know what? This series is going to continue. So that's exactly what happened. Game 5 went back to Tampa Bay. It was announced that 18,600 fans could attend. So it was just about a full capacity. The mayor of Tampa made a joking remark before Game 4, and I don't know if you heard about this, Joe.
No.
But she really didn't. She was hoping that they were going to be able to clinch the cup clincher at home for Game 5, and we were all taking like, okay, I know she's only joking. She really, you really think she didn't really want to have to see them clinch it on TV. So then what happens when Montreal scored? Yep, Game 5. Now the mayor has a chance to back up those words, and sure enough, Russell Colton, scores the only goal of the game, 1-0, defense all the way. Fans go nuts. Cup goes in the air. They were celebrating till 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess I heard the fans behaved. I didn't hear many arrests or vandalism or anything like that.
Yep.
Of course, it was in the pouring rain, by the way, for the people who were watching the game outside from Elsa. Thank goodness that game didn't get moved. And they announced on Monday, once again, another boat parade. And this is crazy, Joe. This is their third boat parade in a year. Okay?
Yep.
And it's all because of Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay.
It is. All right. Yeah, Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to toss the Stanley Cup like he tossed the Vince Lombardi trophy. You know how he tossed it to the players? You remember that, right? Coachy.
Okay, yes, I'm still here. We had an internet mishap.
Oh, okay.
We're fine.
You were frozen. I was like, oh my God. I thought we were having
already. Our first episode back in a month, we almost had the problem. Okay, no, we're good. My bars are back.
All right.
So ever since Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, it's been an amazing run for Tampa sports since Boston went through all of this.
The Tampa Bay Rays almost win the World Series.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers win the whole thing. And now the Tampa Bay Lightning have won 2 Stanley Cups. First time it's happened since Pittsburgh in 2017. I believe the last time someone repeated was the Edmonton Oilers back in the 80s. Well, I think it's going to be too tough for Tampa because I think they're going to be losing a few more players this time around due to the fact that, as you know, the Seattle Kraken is now in the league and their expansion draft is in a couple weeks' time.
I think that's the first repeat champion for any sport in a good about 10 years. I think
2017 was the last one.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh did it.
Pittsburgh,
but the last time, they repeated as champions. The last time we had a team clinch it at home was back in 2015 when the Chicago Blackhawks beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in 6 games.
Okay.
Which, of course, the Stanley Cup was stuck at O'Hare Airport for an extra half hour. They couldn't get the cup when they won that game. They couldn't celebrate yet. The cup wasn't in the arena yet.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a funny thing, but
that is a funny thing.
Next week I will have to talk about the disturbing Chicago Blackhawks because there is an allegation going on, but I don't want to go into details about it this week. But there is an incident that's going on that's being investigated, and it's not a sight when you have to hear about this stuff again when we had to hear this a couple years ago. So, but that's it on my take for hockey. And the Conn Smythe was Andre Vasilevsky, who did have 5 shutouts, I believe, in the playoffs. 2 of them 1-0 game 7s. That happened to him twice.
That shows.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive. All right.
Congratulations to the Lightning.
Congratulations to the Lightning, stuff like that. So how did the hockey season look to you? With the bubble, with the different
I'm going to probably ask you the same with basketball too. So
Yeah.
That's going to be coming up. But
Well, if it,
you
hopefully
know,
it doesn't end
when
soon.
remember in hockey, you know, when we ended the season back in September, we had no clue where this was going to go. You know, because the United States was starting to do okay, but Canada was more strict. And they were trying to do some restrictions, rules, protocols, and all that. And that's what led why we only had a 56-game season and we kept the games in the division only. I think the worst team that got zonked the most was the Vancouver Canucks when they couldn't play for 3 weeks. And that's why the playoffs had to wait in Canada for at least another week because Vancouver had to try and finish games while they had to play teams that still had to get a chance to get a higher seed. So, but I thought Vancouver got hit the hardest out of anybody in this.
Okay,
You
okay.
know, and then the only thing that went wrong in the playoffs was the Montreal head coach, Dominic Descharges. Yes, it is a French name.
Yeah.
He was tested. He got zonked, unfortunately. He had to miss the last games, couple games with lost with the Golden Knights, and then he had to miss the first 2 games of the Stanley Cup Finals. So he had, and it was a full 2 weeks. It is still 2 weeks in Canada, apparently. So he still had to quarantine. It's another example, like if the Wives went up to Montreal, they would have had to quarantine for 2 weeks before they even made it to Game 3. So it was not very wise for them to go down there, you know, because remember, we're still a 10-day quarantine, but you don't even hear that anymore here for now. So but that's my take on it. But go ahead, Joe. I know you got another question for it, so I'm ready.
Well, you know, so it seemed okay. It seemed everything flowed pretty well normal.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, Canada played with no fans for most of the season until we hit the late stages of the second round. Or no, first round, when Toronto had 500 healthcare workers at the game.
Yep.
And Montreal, come second round, had 2,500 fans, and then of course it went to 3,500, and then they tried to go to 10,000, but the league said, no, we're still in that type of rule. And the rule was for the team who had to travel to Canada, you could only go to the hotel, private restaurant, to the rink. That's it. You couldn't go anywhere else. You were basically stuck. So that's how bad and strict it still was back then.
Well, all right. So everything
I thought everything
pretty
turned
much
out okay, believe it or not. It went out smooth and everything. You know, you had a couple coaches who got fired or let go. You know, we're already
That's typical season.
Now the players are trying to be bought out so they can get back under the cap. Like I heard Tampa Bay is over the salary cap right now, so they are going to have to make a couple moves just to get back under it. I don't know if it's going to be a flat cap or not this year, but I believe it might be. But it all depends what the Seattle Kraken does.
So it sounds like it was a pretty good NHL season. And
yeah, I thought so too. Nobody got in the only thing that got in trouble was when 4 members of the Washington Cap, the team got fined $100,000 because 4 of their Russian players did not socially distance or they were not wearing masks at a Pittsburgh hotel, which led them to a 2-week quarantine, almost like a suspension.
Yep. Plus, we also had that bully guy that you went off on to this season.
Yes, Tom Wilson.
Tom Wilson, yep.
Yeah, no, you don't hear that name much right now, but come October.
Preseason,
we'll find out what this goon can do, but I hope he's learned his lesson, and I really don't want to have to hear more bad news about this again. And suspensions were not that bad, except for one for Kadri, who, with that vicious hit, he was suspended for 8 games, but he's a repeat offender.
Yep, this is also what you mentioned the last season for NBC, the host, the Duplay.
Yeah. I guess I can clarify. I love this. This is the longest hockey session I've ever had.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, NBC, after Game 5 signing off, I wanted to find out how well it went, because like Eddie Olczyk, he was there for 15 and a half years out of the 18 years he was there because he wasn't there at NBC at first when he was coaching the Pittsburgh Penguins, so he wasn't there right away. I thought they did a pretty good job with the coverage. You know, I felt disappointed that they didn't do pregame when the games were on NBC for games 3, 4, and 5. They elected not to do that, which I was like, yeah, you know. They only did a postgame, and then after that, for their final goodbyes, the legend Mike Doc Emmerich did an 8-minute piece, and then that was it. But now ESPN2 has the NHL draft coming. I think the expansion draft's on ESPN2 as well. But now ESPN and ABC has a turn, and then Turner gets a turn at it as well. So 2 major networks.
All right, fighting over hockey. So
here we go. Starting in October,
back to a regular season. We look forward to it. To it.
Okay.
All right, let's switch to the NBA. More my topic, more of me. Last time we looked, the LA Lakers were getting tossed out and stuff like that. The West went pretty well. The LA Clippers, with Paul George showing up for one game, then Kawhi Leonard has their injuries and stuff like that. But I am really impressed by Phoenix. I mean, they have a very good team. They have their leader in Chris Paul. I mean, he's a great leader. He's showing his veteran leadership for that rookie team. So he's really the glue that holds all this together. Whether he's just on the court or off the court, I mean, he wants a championship. You can see it in his play. You can see it.
You can see it in his eyes right now.
Yep.
Yes, I've watched the first 2 games of the finals. Believe it or not, Chris Paul looked spectacular in Game 1. Game 2, it was other teammates who stepped up and contributed last night, I thought.
Yep, it was.
I mean, Milwaukee did in Game 2 though. They made it a close game at the end, but Phoenix was, they came out 1 by 10. But yes, the Milwaukee Bucks center. He's still not 100%. He's still limping around.
No, Devin Booker is playing very well. I mean, he hosted 31 last night, and he's really coming into his own. He's showing all-star potential and stuff like that. Repeat all-star, nice player, good 30 to 35 points a game. I mean, his game is going well. Let's see. Other things about Phoenix, Jay Crowder, former Celtic,
looks good.
Jay Crowder's, I mean, he's been in a couple teams that been to the finals or gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals. He's that, glue player, that he either is rebounding the ball, he's either throwing a screen, he's either trying to hit a 3 in a big moment. I mean, he's like a Robert Horry. He's always on a championship team. He's always there. I mean, Robert Horry won 7 championships that way. I mean, that's more than Michael Jordan, but
that's true. That's right. Jordan only won 6 titles. That's correct.
I mean, you always need that kind of player on a championship like a Jay Crowder and stuff. You always need that. You always need that player. Let's switch to the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean,
must win Game 3 Sunday night. They need to win.
They need to win, too.
They can't. I mean, I said the same thing with that when Montreal needed to win Game 3, and at least it went 5 games. But Milwaukee needs to, and they need to. The free throws, they need to worry. They don't have to worry about them counting 1, 2, 3, and so on. That is annoying, by the way.
Yeah, that is annoying.
No need for it.
No, I think Giannis needs to really. He needs to step up. I mean, everybody calls him a good scoring 2, but if he wants to be a number 1 in the NBA, he needs to show some more oomph and stuff. Yep. I know he doesn't shoot the ball very well.
His free throws definitely not. Air balls, I'm thinking, is this another Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah, that too. But Shaq was always dominant, though. Shaq showed his dominant.
But Joe, when it's late in the game, the first thing they said, First thing they would
Hack
foul.
is Shaq.
Wait for Shaq to get the ball. Don't let anybody else touch it.
I mean, but sometimes when Shaq got the ball in the paint, even with them fouling, he scored the point. You know, it wasn't. I mean, he was overpowering in his youth. He was really that dominant. I mean, he could have scored maybe extra 5,000 points probably if he hit free throws or 10-5, 8,000 points more. But Giannis doesn't show that leadership or that dominance. I mean, he does not on great defensive. I mean, teams that D him up and stuff like that and force him to shoot jump shots. They don't let him get to the free throw line, even if they want to, but they let him shoot. You know, they know he can't shoot the ball really well. Other players for Milwaukee, PJ Tucker's, you know, everybody else, he scored 42, Giannis did, in the last game, but lost by 10. I mean, it's still, and everybody else just wasn't there. Holiday wasn't there. He only scored 17.
Well, remember, this is now in Milwaukee, so I think it's going to change a little bit with having home court.
A little bit, but if Phoenix comes in with the same kind of,
if they do they see them sweeping on Tuesday night for Game 4?
Yeah, I can see Phoenix sweeping the Bucks. I mean, if they don't control Chris Paul in the game, Chris Paul's having his way with the Milwaukee Bucks right now. He's really controlling the entire game. He's controlling the defensive tempo of the game.
He's definitely an MVP Finals candidate right now.
Yeah, I mean, and his team is following him and showing their leadership with that's why I don't worry too much about Phoenix and their star player. I more worry about Milwaukee and Giannis and not being inspired enough to win a couple games, you know?
Yep.
So,
absolutely, because now this is it. Now there's no more excuses. This is their final. This is the final matchup, and because remember in the NBA, Joe. Here's a reminder: nobody has come back down 3-0.
Nope, nobody has. Especially with Phoenix having home court advantage, that's a big thing. But I say that this is the Bucks pretty much their only chance of actually getting to the finals and winning the NBA championship, like the Phoenix Suns. I mean, next year you're going to have the Lakers still. If AD comes back, you're going to have another probably healthy Clipper team, depending on Kawhi Leonard, see if he wants to stay there or not.
And then, of course, we're hoping the Toronto Raptors get to play games in Toronto and not in Tampa.
Well, that really didn't mess up their season too much.
No, they didn't have a successful season, though, but I think some of them were probably, what's the word? Is it homesick?
Yeah, they were homesick a little bit, but the Raptors really lost a lot, losing Kawhi, losing other pieces from that championship team. That's why it's really hard to repeat in the NBA. We haven't had a repeat since the Chicago Bulls. Yep.
So, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And like we said, it's never
the Lakers did it. Lakers
did it. That's right.
Lakers.
But it's still never easy to get back to back. I mean, you feel like right now hockey's the dominant sport. To have it happen at this point right now in a span of it's been about 4 or 5 years now in between already.
Yeah.
I mean, since Pittsburgh won the cup, Washington won the cup, St. Louis won the Cup in Boston, and now Tampa Bay's won it twice in a row.
Well, it's hard with salary caps and stuff to keep players, and then players get all.
But see, let's say for example, the Seattle Kraken wasn't coming in the league this year.
Yeah,
I think Tampa Bay would have been able to sign everybody who's a free agent to 1 or 2 year contracts, definitely guaranteed.
well, they probably would.
Back.
They probably would. But you can't. When the Raptors and the Grizzlies came into the NBA and stole players from championship ball clubs and made them.
It's worse when you have 2 teams coming to the league as an expansion. That makes it worse.
Well, that's why I mentioned the Grizzly and the Toronto Raptors when they came in.
And by the way, Vancouver Grizzlies, they didn't even stay in Vancouver.
Nope, they didn't.
They had to move.
They're in Memphis.
Yep.
But
Vancouver Joe's not a basketball team. We all know that, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Yeah. So they seem to like him in Memphis and stuff, so let him stay there.
Absolutely. So,
but
all right, basketball's now covered.
Well, we got.
Do we need to talk about our teams, or do we talk about this new rule with the pitchers?
Well, let's talk about the rule a little bit, and let's go through our favorite teams and see what happens.
Yeah, all right. Let's talk about the rule with checking the pitcher's glove, the belt, the hand,
and underneath the cap, stuff like that.
Yeah, so far, there's only been a couple issues, maybe one hiccup. One player did get suspended, and yes, if you're suspended, you cannot replace a player for 10 games, unless you appeal it, of course. You had Joe Girardi have a fit. He got ejected because he was complaining about one of the Washington National players who got checked like 3 times during the game.
Yeah.
Which is strange. I think you only need to be checked once. If you get checked once, then you're good. And when you do it? Before the game starts, not during the game.
Yeah, I think so. They should definitely check them before the game when they're warming up.
Maybe after you come out of the game. You can do that too. But don't do it in the middle of the game because because sometimes, the one for Seattle accused himself that he had sweat on his hand.
Well, that's sweat. That probably is on his hand. He's sweating.
Mm-hmm. And the umpire thought there was a form of substance on it. I'm like, I saw the highlight of this. I shook my head like, okay, maybe he does have a good case to appeal on this.
Maybe.
I mean, remember, it's been hot in Seattle. Always remember that, and it's unusual.
Yeah, it's usually raining and stuff like that. But
Not this summer.
The sweat thing is just human sweat. That's going to be on the ball anyways.
Right.
For my take on this, okay, pitchers have a hard enough time locating the ball when it's a perfect pitch. It's a hard thing to do throwing it to home accurately. Actually, batters should really welcome the pitcher getting something on the ball to throw it accurately so it doesn't hit him in the head at 90 miles an hour. I could see, yes, it is cheating and breaking the rules, but it does help a pitcher with his command and stuff. Yeah, yes, batting averages have been down. No, I don't think it's been just because the substance has been on the ball that the batting averages have been totally down in the toilet this year. It's a lot of the batters have picked it up lately. Not in the New York Yankees.
Yeah, well, if there's one batter we fell in love with, it's Ohtani right now.
Yeah. Ohtani's going off.
Yeah, this guy's got 32 home runs. He's running away with it right now.
Yeah, some players are having a good hitting season, but a lot of them not. And it's not because of the substance on the baseball. That's hooey. You can't fully blame that
Nope.
on the
But then, of
substance.
course, some people are complaining. It's like, oh, he shouldn't be pitching. I'm like, well, you know what? Look, it's a risk he took. Last year, yes, he had to have Tommy John surgery. He was fortunate that it wasn't as major because,
Yeah.
Once you have that surgery, guess what? I'm waiting to see if Joe Madden says, you know what? You're done pitching. We only want you for hitting.
Well,
And that's eventually going to happen.
well, a Tony player, yes, he's playing both sides of the ball. He's playing pitcher. He's playing both. I mean, pitchers really lose their. Remember, in Little League, when we watch the 12-year-olds, the pitcher's usually the best player on the team.
That's scary too.
And
Even though we've had friends have nicknames for the Fairfield pitcher who looked like he was about 200 pounds, but
yeah, but usually the pitcher or a kid pitching the ball, their ace is usually the best player on the team. Somewhere between that age of 12 and the age of 16 or something like that, the pitcher loses all batting, accuracy and stuff like that. They concentrate on pitching.
Yep.
So the Itani player can play both sides of the play. He can bat, he can pitch. Whoop-de-doo on that for me.
Yep. And by the way, his first name is Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani. Well, I'm going to call him Ohtani.
No, that's fine. You can, but I got to pronounce it correctly. So, but the way he's going right now, this year he's only making $3 million. So
yeah, I mean he's
only 27, and he's only 27 years old, so he's pretty young.
Yeah. So,
and looking at his stats so far this year,
yeah, what is
his average? His average is 279, 32 home runs, leads the league in that. He's third in RBIs with 69. Opposing on base percentage, I think it's 1.064. Good for third.
And what is he pitching?
Pitching, let me see. What's he got for that?
What's his record?
Yeah, let me see what his stats are. Well, the Angels are not that great for divisional record, but
no. Unfortunately, the Angels are not too well.
No, unfortunately not.
That's another wasted year for Mike Trout on that team.
Yeah, believe it or not, Ohtani is 4-1. His ERA overall is 3.49, so he leads the team in that. But I mean, they're learning. They're 44 and 42, but they have to get by Houston. They got to get by Oakland.
And stuff. Yeah.
And of course, you still have to worry about Seattle, even though, forget it. Right now, Houston's starting to run away with it. So, but
yeah, and the Yankees have to verse the Houston for a couple of games.
So go ahead, your Yankee moment. Go.
Okay, the Yankees. They won 3 games in a row. Okay. After a big team meeting and stuff like that. Only player meeting.
Players only meeting? That figures.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had one of those. I saw the doubleheader for the 7th inning. I saw Chapman give up the home run and then give up like 4 more runs. And the Yankees
I saw the Yankee fans were booing and they were not too happy. They were showing their displeasure.
Well, that's part of being in New York. I mean, if you're
welcome to the big town.
Yeah, welcome to that. If Chapman really doesn't like that, then he can probably take a ship somewhere else.
Yeah, he can take it somewhere else. I heard he didn't take it very kindly after he blew the save.
No, he's still iffy, but there's no inspiration on the New York Yankees. There's no. I put this on Aaron Boone, Cashman, and the higher ups.
I would probably say Boone. They have until the end of the season to do something, or Boone's going to be gone.
Yeah,
I would say All-Star break, but I think they're going to give him until the end of the season. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Cashman, same thing. I mean,
Cashman.
you
Yeah.
got Aaron Judge, who really you're not going to go blame him. No way, you can't.
Well, every 5 days he's injured or not playing, or
Yeah. Well, I'm more worried about Stanton, who doesn't he still keep on striking out right now?
he's
Are we still on that pace?
Yeah, he's striking out. He's only DHing. I mean, the team's a real mess right now. And they're 3 games above 500, which for that, Vegas picked them to win more than 95 games. That's not happening. That's not happening at all.
You're sitting 9 games back out of first place right now.
Yeah.
You know, this is definitely something you cannot. Do I say you're one of the disappointing teams right now?
Yeah.
I would have to say yes.
Yeah. I mean, it is the disappointment. With all that talent on that team, there's no inspiration. Nobody can stay healthy. And the bullpen, which is supposed to be the strong point of the Yankees, blows games. I mean, no lead is safe for the Yankees in any situation. When you're going to give up 3 runs in the 9th or something and blow the game, or 6 runs in the 7th and blow the game. It's not a team. It's not a baseball team. You can see it in the dugout and stuff like that. You can see how they're responding to each other. It's just like they're going through the motion and saying, okay, we got to get this season over with. Something like that.
You got too many games left to go. I wouldn't even throw in the towel yet, whatever I would do.
I wouldn't throw in the towel, but if somebody doesn't kick the Yankees in the butt, you might as well just be sellers and try to get something for people and let Boone go. And maybe Cashman at the end of the year, let Cashman go, but
you're not having Boone stay to the end of the season, huh? You think he's going to be gone during it? We haven't had a manager get fired yet. So
it's not yet, but remember, Yankee Stadium, they boo you.
I know. I think is it worse? Do they hate it more when they lose to the Red Sox or to the Mets or
lose
both?
To anybody? We hate losing. Period. You're a Yankee. You won 27 championships. It's been over 10 years since you've won your championship. You're letting the Rays get to the finals on you.
World Series.
You're letting Boston have more championships in a 10-year span than you. You're letting Toronto build a better team on you. If it wasn't for Baltimore, you probably would be last in that league. Losing in New York is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. I mean, in the other town of the Metsville, losing is fine. But if you're a Yankee, you're in the Bronx, winning is acceptable, not losing.
You can lose once in a while, but that's it. You can't lose consecutively.
We haven't won anything in over 10 years. We haven't even been to the World Series.
You haven't been in the World Series since Girardi won the last one.
Yeah, that's 10 years ago. It was 2009.
And that was when George Steinbrenner – actually, yeah, that's when George Steinbrenner passed away that year. And, the other George's sons came in and boom. Now, of course, Hal Steinbrenner says, don't panic, don't worry right now.
It's time to hit the panic button. Crash the button. You got over a $225 million spending on your team or something like that.
Then you better find a cartoon bomb on your phone so you can just poof to them very soon at the rate it's going. So
rate it's going, something needs to change. Because
you may have to put a gunshot on your phone too, so you can hear a rifle go off.
Yeah, but it's not good for the Yankees.
No,
That's
it's
my
not.
that's my
Um,
take on the Yankees.
okay, we are in the Red Sox world of surprises this year. Okay, I will admit. I didn't expect this to be where we are right now in first place with a 2.5 game on Tampa Bay. Yes, we lost 2 out of 3 to Tampa. Okay, I can live with it. There have been some teams, even though now I can start following baseball full time with hockey now done. I really think in my mind, losing to the Angels 2 out of 3 is no good. You should have at least won 2 out of 3 out there. I mean, yeah, West Coast always scares me. They went 3-3. Okay, I get it. But as we get ready for the All-Star break, we have 3 with the Philadelphia Phillies. Just as a reminder, Red Sox fans, we are 6-0 versus the Yankees, but we still have 13 more games to go.
Yep.
So something can change in a heartbeat. Now, do I see some problems with hitting? Yeah, there's a couple players right now. There's somebody actually batting under 200 right now, which I'm not too happy that we are this deep in the season. Like Danny Santana, the first baseman, 167. Nope, not good. Right now we're going to definitely be the buyers this year. I mean, we won't touch Devers, we won't touch Martinez, we won't touch Bogarts, we won't touch Hunter Renfroe, who, by the way, who has improved. But we need a good leadoff hitter, and we need somebody who can play first base and second base with a better batting average.
Yeah.
I think we do have a problem a little bit. I mean, I don't know how we've made it through. We're about over 20 games over 500, be 2.5 games up. Last year we were sellers. We didn't think this group was going to be good. Now we're going to be buyers this year. We are definitely going to be in buying mode. And I think we do have to make some changes with the infield. We need some hitting. It's that simple. We're not a very strong hitting team right now. You know, it's got to change eventually. Pitching, bullpen, has it been better? Yes, it has. Matt Barnes, has he been better? Yes, he has. But we don't want to turn him into something where you can do like 30 consecutive saves, and then all of a sudden you're going to blow it. We've seen it, done it. You know. But starting pitching, our best pitcher is Nathan Eovaldi right now.
Yeah.
With 9 wins. That's impressive. You know, that's our ace starter. Chris Sale is supposed to be coming back, we think, after the All-Star break. Please don't rush him back. You know, he had his Tommy John surgery, but they got to be careful with him. But he also has a couple years left on his current contract he has.
Okay.
So, do we need a starting pitcher? It wouldn't hurt to get one. Just don't get somebody who's going to pitch out the rest of the free agency season. Please get somebody who has 1 year left on the contract so he can get adjusted to Fenway Parks, and then he can find out if he would like to stay or not. You know, but right now the whole AL East, it's right now between Boston and Tampa, and actually both teams still have a lot of games left to play with each other.
Yeah.
You know, going across the board, I'm telling you, when we started 0-3, I'm telling you, we pushed the panic button. We really did. Now, ever since, we've been playing a lot better. There are teams we should have beaten. Kansas City's definitely one of them. In Kansas City, I'm glad we swept Kansas City at Fenway. You know, but we need to score runs, and we need to get some more hits with these infielders. Because I think our batting average is a little bit down.
Yep.
So, but I'm not going to go complain about it too much because, you know, it's the All-Star break. I am happy that I believe there are 4 members of the Red Sox going to the All-Star game. I think the Yankees got 1.
Yeah, you have to have somebody represent.
Yeah, so the Yankees got 1. The Red Sox got 4, maybe 5.
Yep.
But I haven't heard any injuries. Who replaced who for the All-Star game this year?
No.
So that's been quiet, and the home run derby should be a blast on Monday night too. So, you know, but of course on Tuesday you're going to have the NBA Finals and the All-Star game.
Yep. NBA Finals All-Star.
That's never happened before very often.
No, I think the NBA Finals will probably rule over that.
Yeah,
All-Star
I think so,
games
too.
just, just a bona fide
Yeah,
game.
just a bona fide game. The only thing you're playing for, the winner gets to. No, is it the winner gets home field or not?
No, it's nothing this year. Nothing. Just
Yeah,
winner, chicken dinner.
dinner, and then the top baseball team still in it goes to the World Series.
Yeah. Yep.
So, all right, what's our time left?
What's
We've
our
really
time?
put it in there.
We got 10 minutes.
10. All right.
I forgot to mention. One
ahead.
second. I forgot to mention the Celtics have a new head coach. I cannot pronounce his name.
Hold on. I tried to pronounce it, and I'll tell you. Somebody got in hot water with this coach too already. I forget who, but it wasn't nice choice of words. Randy Carlisle went back somewhere.
Yep.
Indiana. I forgot that he went back after the Dallas Mavericks went AWOL after, I guess, Mark Cuban had some nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Damon Stoudemire agreed to become the Celtics assistant coach.
That's nice. Toronto Raptors former player down.
Yep. Ami Udoka is his name. Imi
Udoka.
Brad Stevens, at least he wasn't fired. I mean, he moved up to being the president now. So since Danny Ainge decided he had enough.
Yep. But that's the Celtics news. New head coach.
Other NBA news, I already hearing that there's a couple teams that are still out there trying to fill the void.
Yep.
So there's a lot out there, but all right. All right, we got to talk about the Olympics, unfortunately.
Olympics. Let's go 10 minutes.
This is not what we well, I won't spend all 10 minutes on it, but unfortunately, I guess Tokyo is spiking again.
Yep.
And they were going to let only the fans from Japan go watch the athletes. Now it's going to be completely empty.
Yep.
And it is a shame, but I guess that they were having problems and cases are going up again. So now here's the thing. I think you have to I believe you got to send the athletes. I think they got to go probably this week so they can go quarantine.
Yeah, I think so too.
Except for the players from both teams in the NBA.
Yep.
I think they may have an exempt from that because they're still playing, but I don't know if anybody is going to play for the U.S. squad after the finals. I have no idea. But my understanding is I believe everybody else, the U.S. women's soccer team played their games up at Rentschler. I believe they're in Japan now.
Yeah.
So they're probably quarantining, but they're worried again. The prime minister of Japan said the games are going on. Because at first I heard there was a possibility they were going to not do it.
Yeah. I think athletes always like fans and hearing the cheer and stuff like that. But I think the year off for these athletes and the building and inspiration and the tension to actually compete for a medal and stuff will drive the athletes a little bit more this year and stuff.
Absolutely. But that's not the big story for the Olympics. Not only that for the Olympics. Unfortunately, and I had some different opinions about this at work. One of my managers actually asked me my opinion about this. Yeah, but no. The track and field athlete. And I already got the
gender.
Name. Yes.
Yep.
Sha'Carri. Is it Sha'Carri or Sha'Carri Richardson?
Something like that.
I think it's Sha'Carri.
Sha'Carri.
Anyway, she was suspended for a month because she tested positive for marijuana. Now, of course, as you heard, I do not really want to get into the details about this, but I guess I'm going to have to make it short and sweet.
Yep.
It is legal here in Connecticut now with restrictions up the yin yang, unfortunately.
Yes, it is.
So I guess she got caught with something in the marijuana joint. They say what it was. A chemical found in marijuana. It was a chemical. So she was automatically pulled, could not do the 100-meter dash, and then the U.S. Olympic team for track and field decided, you know what, you're not doing the relay team either. You would have been eligible to do that, but they told her, no, go learn your lesson and stay home.
Yep.
Which is the right thing to do. And you know what? I know she's apologizing and everything for that, but I don't care if this is legal or not, and it's going to be a little bit of a hot topic. But you did too little, too late. This is the Olympics. They set it in stone for you what happens if you test positive for any kind of substance.
Yeah, it is. It's rules are rules, and they're not meant to be broken. So, of course, all athletes push the rules to the limits, and that's the way stuff happens. That's why they test. That's why they test stuff.
But we do. I do wish the the rest of the athletes a lot of good luck.
Yeah, I do.
Don't get zonked, whatever you do, because if you get zonked, I believe pretty much your Olympics are done, and you will probably be sitting somewhere in a private village to quarantine, and then you will probably be sent home.
Well, a lot of the American athletes should be vaccinated by now.
Yep.
I mean, they should.
And then here's my other question. Because there's no fans, do you go ahead and do the opening and closing ceremonies, or do you just skip it and just go from there?
I think, okay, do you need to trot out every country and stuff like that? No. I think a very half an hour ceremony, of course, light the flame, stuff like that.
I would actually say an hour. A half hour is going to be too short. I think an hour is enough.
No 3 hour long. No. You don't need that.
It's one thing if you had a whole bunch of, if the stadium was packed to full capacity, then I would say, okay, you can do that. But if you have no fans going, you don't need any more than an hour.
Yeah.
At most.
I don't think you even need to trot out the athletes because there's no fans. They wouldn't.
You're still going to be socially distanced down in Japan. So my gut feeling is just have everybody be a part in the stands and take it from there and see how it develops.
Well, maybe they can have the athletes already in the arena and stuff like that. And just when their country is thing, put the spotlight on them,
Right. Or in the stadium. It's not in the arena. This is in the Olympic Stadium.
Oh, whatever they're hosting it in.
Yep.
Have them
now, of course, the only sport that's going to be going before the Olympics start, I believe soccer starts.
Soccer, yeah.
Soccer's going to go
Soccer
right away.
always starts before the Olympics.
Yeah,
they do.
I have to see I have to look at the schedule for the U.S. women's soccer team. They're probably going to play overnight, too.
Yeah, just have an hour opening ceremony. Have
closing ceremonies, I would say same. Well, no, you know what?
Thing.
Give them an hour and a half for the closing ceremonies.
Yeah, just do.
But see, you don't need the entertainment or anything.
No.
If you're not going to have fans, and why do you bother having the entertainment unless you're going to do it virtual?
No, don't do it virtual. Don't.
I didn't think so.
Just have the athletes in the stands, sitting already. When their country is called, put the spotlight on them. Have them stand up. Have them cheer for themselves. At the end, let them show their gold medals if they won them or something like that.
Yep.
And you don't need 3 hours. You need an hour and a half, maybe tops. Light the flame. Definitely do that. Light the flame. Light the torch.
That's fine. Yeah.
Show some kind of progress.
Don't do the flame virtually, though. Don't do the flame virtual.
No. Show some kind of progress. Show some hope. The Olympics is an inspirational event where you can
Yep.
watch countries and stuff.
Yep.
It's
And
fair.
by the way, if you do have Xfinity, yeah, if you want to see all the separate track and field events, go on their website, because on NBC they're not going to show really any of the longer triple jump or anything like that. They're just going to show the running events. So,
running, some swimming.
Yep.
Okay, we got about a minute or two.
So.
Yep.
All right. You said how much do we got? 2 minutes.
We got about 2 minutes.
Okay, I guess I can throw my Tour de France in there.
Yep.
So far that's been doing okay. If you didn't hear about stage 1, this was really stupid. We had there was a woman who did get arrested, got fined 1,500 euros. I believe it was $5,000 American money.
Okay.
Holding a sign in German. She was from Germany, and about 100 cyclists decided to they crashed big time.
Yep.
It was nasty. Let me tell you, I was not a happy camper to see that, but we are halfway through we're over halfway through the Tour de France. So we'll see. Next week it ends in Paris. You got the British Open coming next week. Congrats to a wonderful Travelers Championship where it went 8 playoff holes before we had a winner.
Yep.
The most exciting playoff it's been since 1948, I believe. So
yeah,
and it was too dark. They decided to do the co-golf. So
yeah,
but that will wrap it up. It's nice to be back, everybody.
Nice
it is
to be
10
back.
After 7. So if you want to and find us now,
we're on TV.
We're on TV right now.
We'll get this
with the winter time. So
yep. We'll get this to Biggie and stuff. We'll have this uploaded. Watch us on YouTube. Look us up.
Yep.
Nutmeg Television.
We're just happy to be back, and we're not going away anytime soon, even though if they try to ask us to try to get to a studio episode eventually. I know they may have us do one.
Yeah, they may they are asking for our studio.
Oh, they already have?
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad sitting at the famous desk they have right now.
Not for one episode or two. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's not going there every week.
Yeah. We can do this easily over. So
right.
This has been the Sportsman Show. I've been Joe Musel. Happy to be back and doing this. And go ahead, Coach.
Prime time. And yes, I am Jason Coach E. Careless.